All, welcome to the design pattern series. Today we are going to look into decorator design pattern and let's go through the theory part first and then we will look into the actual example to see how it's implemented. So in today's topic actually we are going to discuss 3 points. What problem decorator design pattern solves, then how decorator design pattern works and how this pattern can be applied in your code. Now let's go to the introduction part. Okay, so the decorator design pattern actually it comes from the structural design pattern. And if we go with the definition, so decorator pattern attaches additional responsibilities to an object dynamically. So decorator pattern provides flexible alternative to subclassing for extending the functionalities. This pattern allows us to extend the behavior of an object by placing this object into special wrapper classes. It is used to add new functionality to an existing object without changing its structure. It helps to follow the solid principles as well, especially open close principle where classes are open for extension but closed for modification. So this pattern it wraps the original class and adds a new behavior to the object at a runtime. This pattern can be useful when changes are needed at legacy application end. It's not easy to change the legacy code which will violate the solid principles. So to add new behavior, you can use a decorator where decorator will perform the new responsibilities. This can also be useful in case extension by subclassing is not possible. In other words, say the class is sealed, so it's not possible to inherit from that class. So to add a new functionality, we can use decorator design pattern. Let's now go to the Visual Studio and see how to implement this decorator design pattern. Okay, now we are in Visual Studio. So for today's demo, actually what I have done, I have created one console application and this is for fetching the profile information. So just to give an introduction, like we have one profile manager class. It will communicate to database to fetch the profile information based on whatever the profile ID we request for. I have not done actual database part implementation. So for this demo, actually what I have done, I have created one list where I keep the profiles of different users. And from this list only, we will be returning the data. Profile manager class has only one method, that is get user profile, and which accepts the profile ID for fetching the profile information. And this particular class actually implements this I profile manager interface. So this is only having one method. So now let's go to the program.cs file from where we will be calling this profile manager. So as of now, we are just calling the get profile method from profile manager and passing it the profile ID to fetch the information, and then we are displaying that information on the screen. So let me just run this program and show you the output. Okay, so you can see on the screen, we have faced the user profile and we have displayed it. So now say in future, say now we have a new requirement for adding the caching support to this particular profile manager. And this requirement might have come because this particular method, get user profile method, it is used frequently. So from multiple location it is being called or multiple times and communicating with database every time to fetch the user profile, so that might be costly operation. So to avoid that, to improve the performance as well, we decided to use the caching. So to add a caching, so the first approach will be like go to profile manager and add this caching support. But that in case if we do that, then we are violating the solid principle. We are not supposed to modify the existing class. We can extend its functionality, but we are not supposed to go and modify it. We can also think of like subclassing, like we can create one more class which will inherit from profile manager, and then we can add what are the behavior we want to add. But that will create a problem in future as well, because say in case right now we have requirement for caching, but then we got a new requirement for adding a logging feature as well. So in that case we will need to create one more class which will then inherit from profile manager. And say then the next functionality is coming where we want the both features like caching as well as logging. So in that case we might need to create one more class which will do both the operations. So we are not adding anything dynamically to the profile manager class itself, object of a profile manager class itself. So in such cases, decorator pattern actually is very handy. So let me just show you how to implement it. I have already done those changes. I will just show those changes directly to you and will show you how this pattern can be useful as compared to subclassing. Okay, so now I have done the changes for implementing this decorator design pattern. So what I have done for the first requirement, which is related to caching, I have added one class called as file manager cache decorator. So the name denotes it's a decorator. what this class is doing is now it's implementing from my profile manager. So in decorator design pattern, so there will be one common interface. So the our main class was profile manager, which was having the original functionality. So it will be using some interface. In case if not, then we can create one interface for it, and then same interface will be implemented by our decorator class. Then to identify a decorator class, so you will always see that decorator design in decorator design pattern, the decorator class will always accept the object which we want to add functionality on dynamically as an argument. So in a constructor, we will be passing that particular object on which we want to add new functionalities. And then it has implementation for get user profile. So here you can see what I have done. I am just logging one message, like we are in a cache class now. So we are trying with the cache. Then I have added a cache functionality. So you can see we are trying to fetch the data from the cache. And then in case if that data is not found, then we go to the profile manager and fetch the instance, then add it to the cache. So this way we are making sure that we are going through cache. So in case if already there is data available, so the first preference will be given to the cache. Okay, so now let me call this particular cache decorator from the program.cs file. Currently we are calling the profile manager class, but now we will go with the cache. So for that, what we need to do is, yeah, so we are going to call the decorator. As of now, I have not done anything for dependency injection, so I'm passing all the objects this way only. So now this profile manager cache decorator class also accept one more argument, that is the memory cache which we want to use. So if you have proper implementation for dependency injection, in that case we won't need to do this. But as of now, I will go with this approach. So this to pass memory cache option. Yes. So now this way we can call the profile manager cache decorator. So if I run this particular program, so it will give the same output. Yeah, so you can see now we are printing this message trying with the cache, and the profile we have fetched successfully from the database. Now say the new requirement is to add logging over it. So on top of cache we want to add a logging as well. So for that actually I have created one more decorator. It will follow the same structure. It will accept it will implement from my profile manager. So it will also have implementation for get user profiles method. I mean a constructor, actually it will also accept the object on which we want to add the functionality dynamically. So in get user profile, what I have done as of now, I'm logging two messages. That first one is operation started and the second one is operation ended. And in between, I'm calling the profile manager, whatever object I'm receiving as while constructing this profile manager login decorator. So from that particular object, I'm calling the get user profile method. So this way, we are adding the logging feature as well. So now let's go and see how this will work. So now previously we were using cache decorator. So now I will go with logging. So we are not using the cache functionality as of now. What we are doing, we are just using logging feature. So to this we will be passing profile manager. Yeah. So now if I run the program, so you will see those two messages on the console. Yeah. So now you can see the operation started and operation ended message is printed here. So now say so this way actually we have added both the functionalities, and say if we want to use both caching and logging with the profile manager. So in case you have that kind of requirement, what we can do is now we can utilize this. We don't need to create any extra class. What all we need to do is pass it new profile cache decorator, and to this cache decorator it will accept two arguments, that is profile manager and new memory cache. This new memory cacheable memory options. Yeah, so let me arrange it properly. Yes, so this might not look good as of now because we don't have any proper implementation for dependency injection. But now if I run this program, so you will see on the console there are three different messages. Right. So the first one is operation started, which is from logging decorator. Then trying with cache, which is from cache decorator, and the last one is operation ended, which is from logging decorator. So this way we are adding functionalities dynamically to the profile manager object. So this kind of things or situations we can handle with the decorator design pattern. And in case if we were going with the subclassing, so that time we might need to create a one more class which will be implementing all this new both the features caching and logging. So this way decorator pattern helps us to add dynamic features to our objects. So that's all for today's session. Let me know if you have any questions, so you can add those in comment section. And in case if this content helps you, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.